Peace, Warriors. Back with another video. Glad to be back here with you guys again. Hope you guys have been enjoying the content that I've been posting for you guys. Been working hard. Been trying to get myself together and get these things done for you. Doing it for me and just doing it to educate for the people and put it out there for you guys to take what you can from it and to make yourselves better. But today I want to talk about, if you were younger, what is one thing you would tell your younger self? I come across a lot of people just in my life and the things that I do and just the type of person I am. I always ask, older people is a company that I like to keep. If you can go back to your younger self, what is one thing you can tell yourself? And I guess let me answer the question. If I can go back to my younger self, even though I'm 23, go back to my 16, 15, or 14-year-old self, one thing I would tell myself, of course, everything's going to be okay. Other great answers, you've heard. But the one thing I definitely would say is embrace yourself and embrace who you're meant to be and to understand what comes with that road. And what that means is, and I'm taking an adolescence class right now in psychology, so I'm kind of learning at the same time as to predispose to what I thought, before taking this class. One thing I would tell myself, since crowds and cliques are very important in the identity development of adolescence, don't be afraid to mesh with different people. Don't settle down too quickly, or I'm just with this group, I want that group, or I just hang with these groups of people. I would encourage myself more to be more open to different groups of people, even people that I strongly disagreed with. Be more open, because now that I'm older, the power of perspective is very, very important as it pertains to me getting my message across, or me even using some psychological manipulation tactics to get people to think how I think. Just open up myself to different groups of people, learning how they communicate, learning how they move and how they operate with one another, and using that to my advantage. Using certain kinds of language and just knowing how to talk to all groups of people would have helped me in my life to be more productive. Because I remember a lot, when I went to basic training in the Air Force, all the kids hated me in the dorm. They thought I was a cocky, arrogant asshole. They thought I just thought so highly of myself. They just, because I had a little six pack going on. I was in shape. I was fit. I was doing the thing back at 18 before I went to the military and went to basic training and everything. So they hated me. But just learning how to maneuver, understanding my gifts, understanding my bravado, understanding my energy, and just to know that no matter how much you immerse yourselves with different groups of people, you like who you don't, you like who you like, and then who you don't like is who you don't like, and the same thing goes for how people feel about me. But just not being afraid to be seen with different types of people. I think a lot of times we get caught up in, I don't really want to be associated with them. Depending on the things that they're doing. If their moral code doesn't align with yours, then I suggest that you definitely distance yourself. But you can never be in a position where you can't learn from people. And even now, me being in the military, coming across all these different people from all these different walks of life, just the ability and the power to be able to engage with many different people on many different topics is something that I had to learn throughout life. But I would have been better off if I was more experienced in my life, more experienced in high school, talk to a little bit of everybody, which I did do in high school. I did maneuver and talk to many different types of people, but I turned to a loner, as an isolationist, I guess you can say, towards the end of my high school career, just because I just was over high school. I thought high school was immensely boring. I thought it was a lot of gossip and a lot of talking, but now that I'm in my adult career, I've noticed that the adult workplace, especially if there's a lot of women, it is no different than high school. The drama, the talking about each other, just picking sides, and the cliques and the crowds and everything. I've grown to a place now in my life where I don't care. I just don't give a fuck about what people think about me or anything else, or what their opinion is, or what the political climate of the office is. I'm going to do my thing. I'm doing what I'm hired to do. But I just wished I was a lot more better at being immersed with different people and different personalities. I'm learning those tools now and those skills now in life, so I'm definitely a lot better. But I think I'd have been more off in life if I'd have learned those things growing up. One thing that did help me was just, becoming a psychology major. And for those of you who don't know, I changed my major 3 times before I stumbled upon psychology. I was bio, because I wanted to be a doctor, a cardiologist, and I wanted to be a psychiatrist. But then my grades weren't cut out for me to get into med school. I could pass the classes, but not of a high enough grade to really get into med school. Then I turned to a nursing major. Then I've noticed the culture of nursing, but I also know it was good money, but I also wanted to be happy. Now I'm more so happy, fulfilled, satisfied to some extent. And nursing a lot of women, so it's a lot like high school, a lot of gossiping, a lot of cliques and crowds, and with this group and that group, and I just wasn't really the type of person who I was. So that really was a turn off for me. Then I stumbled upon psychology. Me being in psychology was really a blessing in disguise. As hard as it was, as much flack as I took, because I'm not a progressive, I'm more on the conservative leaning side, it was a very difficult career, but I made it through, finished it up, did what I was supposed to do. And that has helped me to give me the tools to learn how to talk to many different people, especially me going into the realm of therapy. I'm going to have some people in my chair who I don't agree with, who I don't see eye to eye with. Instead of taking the classic tactic of distancing myself from my patients, I want to make myself closer, make myself more accessible than ever, from a not a physical standpoint, of course, but more of a psychological standpoint of being more open, being more honest, incorporating a little bit of me into my therapy and talking to people and learning how to engage with different people. Some people love it to hear that they're not the only one struggling with the problem. Some people love to be the victim of their own lives. So just understanding how to just learning how to maneuver and talk to different people and speak the language of other people, and just quickly catching on to those cues on how to better, serve the patients and things of that nature. So if there's one tip I would give to my younger self, I would definitely say immerse yourself into different crowds of people, into different cultures. Learn as much as you can. Don't be constricted by the culture around you. Of course, me being black, black people always stuck together, but never be afraid to branch out. And it's not that you're being fake or you're being phony or you don't want to be black or you're Oreo, just different things we used to say growing up. But it's really you just wanting to learn, really you just wanting to get out there, really you just wanting to see what the world is about. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So like I said, one tip to my younger self, hopefully you can take this and learn from it. Never be afraid to branch out. Never be afraid to learn something new. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Peace.